Welcome back to the channel. We're going to have a look at another versus today, and we're going to verse two hybrid shafts. So last test was Graphite Design DI hybrid up against the Ventus with some subtle changes there, subtle differences I should say. Today we're going to get the Graphite Design DI 85S back out, and we're going to run it up against KBS. Where's the writing go? That way. Prototype, KBS Tour Hybrid Prototype. Now this shaft's been out for a little while, as has the DI. The KBS is based on the ever popular KBS Tour shaft. Now for those that don't know what KBS stands for, it's Kim Brayley Shafts. So he's the genius behind their shafts. Both shafts are advertised as mid-launch. The DI, funnily enough, is 88 grams at a swing weight of D3.0, playing at 40.5 in the Cobra King Tour Hybrid. The KBS, I mean the DI advertises 2.4 torque. Now with KBS they don't tend to give up their numbers too much, so this one is advertised at 85 grams and it's going to swing weight a little bit higher at D3.4 at 40.5 in my 3 hybrid. So don't know the torque number, couldn't find it to be honest. So both sort of mid-launch shafts. I'm going to run with the DI first. It's been in my bag for a few weeks and I'm really enjoying the really strong flight out of it. So test ball today will be Pro V1, like I said, King Tech hybrid head, and we'll hit a few shots and see if we can see some differences. Okay, first up, DI hybrid. Super popular, obviously in its category. Been around for a long time. I think it's a great shaft, feels great. Slightly low off the face to kick with. A little bit left. I got my flag out there at 200. It's kind of about where I like to hit my hybrid. She was a little bit low off the face. I hammered that. I think it's going to hook because it was out the toe. First shots are, you know, generally not the best, to be fair. Where was it, out the toe? Yeah. A little stuck in behind me, low spinner. So that's probably a more user error on that one. It's a pretty decent shot. Might hold it. No, not quite. But this has a strong feel. No noticeable, you know, big kicks anywhere, so there's no, it's a really nice shot. It's kind of what I like to see from my hybrid, something pretty high. Little draw. That's kind of my bread and butter there. Nice carry, 200. 3,500 spin, it's kind of exactly what I'm looking for, but I did hit that one out of the middle, so that's a good indication. So what I was saying with the DI, don't expect you know, anything overactive anywhere. It's not particularly soft anywhere along the shaft, but it's not harsh either, if that makes sense. It's a pretty smooth sort of profile. Hit that pretty good too. So there's a couple of really nice shots in there. A couple of ordinary ones to kick with, but I suppose that's to be expected after a solid day's work here at SGT. Not too bad either. I think that'll do. I mean, that'll give me an indication of, you know, some launch and spin numbers to compare. I'll probably delete a couple of shots there that I hit some sling and hooks with. And so I'll put the proto in. All right, so we've got KBS prototype in. Now, I do like the look. It's kind of got a matte finish. Almost, the colouring it's similar to that True Temper finish, where it's not, certainly not glossy, but it's not full matte. I think I'm losing the plot here, but It's a nice finish. I mean, if you like red and black, if you're that way inclined, it's going to look really nice. KBS Red Label is I mean, that's their thing, right? So so this is 3 grams lighter, but swing weighting slightly heavier. So, you know, it's balance points probably a little bit lower. I've never really hit this, to be honest, so this will be a new experience for me. A little low on the face. Went quite well, but for a miss hit, yeah, 7mm low, 7mm heel. But a pretty good shot first up. That's a total miss hit. Okay, so another good shot for that was a total miss hit. That'll be like 20mm in the heel or something. That's a real shocker. 15mm, close enough. That's user error, but what a great miss, huh? I mean, you take that every day for a miss. Still up on the green there at 200, so. It does feel lighter. Even though its swing weight's heavier, does it feel a little stiffer? You know, that's what I've got to determine here. It definitely feels lighter. Doesn't have any pronounced kick. Doesn't feel quite as solid as the DI. But I've hit, you know, have I hit one out of the centre yet? Probably not, so I'm not quite middling this, but I've hit the same result 4 times. So let's keep hitting here and see what else I can, see if I can actually hit one out of the centre with this thing. No, it's still heel. It's still not right, but it's producing, like you could throw a little blankie over those. Get out your little blankie, have a little picnic. Still in the heel. And those little green dots are just in the same spot. Be interested to see if I can get it out of the centre. I'm not sure how you could complain about this, but I think it was marginally better. So there you go, it's probably popped up a little higher. Got to the front edge. Another good shot. Creating probably a little bit more spin, but still a little bit in the heel. Another heel strike. Someone ought to give me a lesson. That's for sure. So we'll go again. Yeah, it's just not quite timing it, but results are ridiculously good, aren't they? I mean, these numbers, I mean, without deleting everything, these numbers, this is a far better performance than the DI, without a doubt. Like, it's far better. That I hit well. That felt good. And it's probably just going to go in the same spot. So where's that hit on the face? Well, that felt good, and it's still slightly in the heel. But that little cluster of dots, they're just all in the same spot. So okay, that's a different part of the face. But what, are we talking the same spot again? Oh, it jumped, didn't it? That really went. That really took off. Yeah, so I got it slightly over toe. Spin drops dramatically. I mean, there's an indication of what happens with different strike patterns. Spin dropped a lot. The more I hit it, the more you know, obviously that dispersion might get worse. But this feels, and maybe it is because of that, you know, that consistent heel strike. Maybe that's taking some of the feel away from it. But gorgeous flight. I mean, I really like this. Let's just crunch some numbers, see what it says as far as numbers. All right, so I've only got a small sample size on the DI, but I'll get rid of that. I'll just disable the one that I kind of hooked early. It was an early swing, you know. Let's just use that as an excuse, and we'll leave all the KBS in there, even though there was kind of there's definitely some mishits. But let's have a look at the comparison. 137.3 ball speed against 136.4. Spin at 3.9. Now last comparison I did was at about 3.7, so the spin's a little bit up from last time I did it. Spin at 4,000, so they're within 100 RPM, very, very similar. Prototype 192. I mean, these numbers are almost identical. The KBS, I did feel like I got a little bit more out of the heel. So the same sort of club head speeds. You know, I wish I could say they're massively different, but I don't, you know, even in the flight, back on this ball data, you know, you can see that they're very, very similar. Very, very similar. The KBS probably popped up in the air a little bit more, even though it was slightly lower on the face. So maybe a slightly higher launch for the KBS over the DI, but both fabulous. If I had to pick purely on feel, which feel, I mean, that's how we should never pick, but if I had to pick on feel, I would say that the DI felt a little bit nicer to me. But both shafts had a wonderful performance today. The consistency over the, you know, I hit at least twice as many shots with that TGI, with the prototype, sorry, and it just kept sort of hitting the same shot after shot after shot. So big thumbs up for both. You wouldn't be disappointed with either. DI just gets the nod for me purely on feel, nothing else, but purely just on that little bit heavier, smoother almost, a bit more meaty in the feel, just a little bit more solid. So there you have it.